And welcome back to yet another review by Zombill. In today's review, we're going to take a look at the Aromamizer Round and the Aromamizer H. Now you can get these, well, I think the only place I've seen them is E-Cig. But for the purpose of this review, I'm going to put up steamcrave.com. Now, these are done by a company called E-Cig, based out of Shenzhen, China. And this is part of the Steam Crave line. They're going to have more coming up soon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to a table shop. We're going to unbox them, even though they're already unboxed. We're going to show the packaging. Then we're going to talk about how they function. Come back here and have ourselves a little vape session on them. So let's have a little quick toot. And before I get started, I must point out I did receive these pre-charged for the purpose of conducting a review, but my opinion of the products will remain true, honest, and accurate as always. And here we have both of the Aromamizers. One is the Hexagonal and the other one is the Round. And I might have been wrong whenever I said this one is the S. This is actually the H version, and this one is the R version for Round. So let's go ahead and unbox these bad boys and see what else comes with them. Pretty much the same stuff is going to be for both packages. Of course, you get the Aromamizer that comes with the spit back protection drip tip. But we will look at this further here in just a minute. And you also get the old trustworthy blue-handled screwdriver. You get a little bag of extras here. You get the adapter for spit back protection for our 510 drip tips that we use. And you get extra spare O-rings and spare screws. Wow, you get a couple of sets of spare screws, looks like. Yeah, so here they are side by side. And they're whereas one is hexagon and the other is round. They're both 22 mil atomizers, and they both are about 46 millimeters in height, and they're both stainless steel. Now, whether this is 303, 304, 316, I'm not sure, but they are definitely a high quality stainless steel. You can see on the hexagon one, you have your airflow in 3 different spots. And on the round one, you have airflow all the way around. We're going to explain it here in a second, but first let's look at the spit back protection huge drip tips. Okay, so the base here, as you can see, has let me focus this a little bit better here. It has the airflow at the base of the drip tip, where you have this big squared off centerpiece, and it looks pretty much like that down the inside. Now, what they've done is they've made it to where your liquid isn't going to be spitting back through the drip tip, because this was meant for sub-ohming. Now, of course, you have a massive O-ring there. Now, these will only fit the Aromamizers. Now, both decks are identical. They're identical. You have 3 posts, which, are fairly, the cutouts for the posts are fairly large size. I'd say you'd be able to get 22 and 24 gauge in here with no problem. I'm currently using 28 gauge on these builds. One I have built to 0.2 ohms, The other I have built to 1.66 ohms, and there's a reason for that, but I'll get into that later. Now you can see that it has a fairly decent sized drip well. I'd say that's about 2.5 to 3 mils deep. Now one thing you want to definitely be careful with on the builds for these is because these screws are so long, and they've done a really good job on the threading for these screws. It's just that when you go to put your wire in and you tighten your screws down, excuse me, it's been an allergy kind of day for me. But when you tighten your screws down, don't tighten down so much because you will break your wire. Here is the top caps for the round and hexagonal. You can see the insides are virtually the same. Now, I'm going to explain the design on this for the Aromamizer. The main feature, you see down inside here, you have these cutouts that are going along the wall here. Now, what happens is when you take your air in, you're taking air in through these air holes here. And what happens is it creates a cyclone effect. It hits the coils and produces the best tasting flavor possible because it is an enclosed area that you get nothing but flavor. Now, you don't want to do an overkill and build a tremendously super low, because if you do, your heat will kill the flavor. So just be advised that you should probably just build 0.2 and above. So now I'm going to throw some wick on these, and we'll go back up to main camera view, and we'll have a little vape and show them in action. Alright, so here we are back at main camera view, and just as I showed you before we got started, there is the round, which I have on the Spear mod, and I have this dual microcoil to about 0.2 ohms. Let's have a vape, see how well it vapes. Very nice. I get a deep, full flavor. I get plenty of vapor. Now I have the H version, the hexagonal version, on my Taylor 8-volt box mod. It's dual 18650. I believe I want to call this a parallel. That's the reason why it's 8 volts. But I have this one set up to 1.66 ohms, and that's the reason why. Because this is an 8-volt box mod, and this is where its home is. I built this specifically to stay on this mod because it's so high voltage powered. So let's have a beat. Very nice. Even at a high ohms, 1.66, it still vapes a treat just like sub-ohming would. I gotta say, I'm very impressed about these atomizers. They're not advanced type. However, their innovation is advanced type because of the cyclone effect that you get on the inside. You're not only getting a warm, dense vape, you're also getting a very flavorful, and I mean very flavorful vape. You know, the difference between this and say this, because that is a Stellaire 26650. The difference is that the airflow is circulating around in the chamber, so the coils are getting hit from air by all sides, top, lower, sides, even in the middle. You know, the stainless steel design on them, high quality product, very well machined. When I first got these were super clean. There was no machine oil on them. Um, I even like the 3D effect that the logo itself has. I probably didn't show that too well in the close up, but that's it right there. It's not so much you can feel it, so it's laser etched on there. And the drip tip. The drip tip, very innovative because of its spit back protection feature. And you can pull it directly and be able to drip down in there real nice and easy. So I can't really say much else about these other than you're getting high quality and an original design by a Chinese manufacturer, which is superb. So, for those wholesalers, vendors, and resellers that are interested in carrying this line, you can get in touch with my representative. I believe her name is Maggie. Right here will be her contact info. I'm going to have email, Skype, and I think her Facebook address as well. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Please subscribe to my YouTube. And as always, my peeps and peepettes, happy vaping.